Well, Craig, here we are again.
On the deck with Craig Valine and Scott Evans again, and we were just talking about the familiar, about why people don't act as they are. They don't want to leave the familiar. But now I think we should expand more on fear.
Well, fear is an interesting thing. I see a lot of these transformational gurus, and listen, we all have friends that are into this transformational space, and we've all been there. We all contribute to it, and we consume it. So that's understandable that these people, us included, you included, garner some kind of attention, and it's really neat. But I think that the issue of fear being the barrier to success, I think that while maybe in an overarching sort of easy statement to sell people things to help them get through their fear, that may be true, but I think there's something underlying this issue of fear. And I think it requires activating something I call the snort factor.
The snort factor.
Yeah.
Talk about the snort factor.
Well, listen, think about any challenge you've overcome. You started using some competency because I think that if you face a challenge you don't have the competencies to overcome,
right?
Then you don't have the confidence to face it, and then of course there's this issue of fear that comes up.
Right.
So I think that any challenge that you're prepared to handle, you're not fearful of. Any challenge you're not prepared to handle, there's an element of anxiety or fear. Absolutely.
Right. So like for instance, I was in real estate investing for the longest time. Never purchased a property. Did all the legwork. But my biggest fear was that first deal, because I had never experienced that deal before. Mm-hmm. So, I think, again, we were just talking about the familiar. My familiarity is not doing anything towards real estate investing.
Right.
But, I had studied, I had read, I had attended seminar, I was even getting coaching from them, but by not had experienced that environment, not even once, that kept me from taking action.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about, pretty soon, we're going to talk about why people don't act on things. And it's not a matter of fear. It's something very simple. But as it relates to this issue of fear, not being familiar with having gone through the process. I mean, I was a real estate agent years ago in Los Angeles, and yeah, it was kind of difficult because at the time it was a 3-page, now it's probably 30 pages, but at the time it was a 3-page form.
Oh, you had to fill out 30 pages.
Okay, good. So, and even that was difficult to confront. But once I became competent at it,
right,
I had the confidence to forge ahead and sell many properties, or list many properties, and so on. So really, it's not fear. I just want to erase that. That's
so competence. You said competence.
It's competence. If you have the core competencies in an area, you'll take something head on as a challenge, and it won't be fear.
Because there's nothing to fear. Right. You know how to do it.
Yeah, so it's not fear. Fear is not the barrier to success. It's not having the competencies in the area. The problem is, oftentimes, we're sold these ideas that we're experts, we're a trusted authority, we're something, when the truth is maybe we're really not, not yet. And once you do become more fluid and fluent in that particular language, then all these issues of fear and whatever else disappear, and you forge right ahead.
We can expand more on it in another installment, but how does one get more competent?
Well, you have to get out of the bubble you're in and start reading all kinds of books, reading, talking to people, but not just transformational people. I mean, just go out and talk to people who seem to be living effortlessly,
right?
And then just start employing good, sound, activities and actions. I mean, when it comes to your financial wherewithal and your financial abilities, you know what? You're not going to get that information at a seminar buying a $2,000 package of something.
Right.
Pick up the Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. He's out of he does workshops and seminars, but he's on the radio. He has books out. The guy is just a genius as it relates to, managing your money and coming up out of the muck because he's done that, in his life. And here are the sound principles that he uses. I'm pointing that particular book out and Dave Ramsey out because he's not in the traditional transformational space, but his concepts, his ideas, and his delivery blows away anybody in the transformational space, and that's typically who we happen to talk to.
Right.
So that's why I mentioned it that way.
Well, and a lot of success, back to fear again, right? As a lot of people hesitate to do things because they're not sure what it'll look like on the other side. We talked about the big goal, right? They don't realize how valuable it is. But some people don't do it because they just don't know what it will look like.
You know
What's
what?
it going to be on the other side?
Okay, as we wrap up on this on this installment, I'll just tease it by saying this. There's one reason that people don't move forward or complete a project or some activity.
Right.
Yeah, we'll reveal that next time.
All right, this is Craig Valine and Scott Evans, and you're listening to On the Deck and watching On the Deck. We will see you next time.